Go ahead, grab your TACAM, throw it on, put it on to 1 X-ray. Because that's our ship that we're currently on. Right side, you're looking where it's T-O-S. O-S means offset, T stands for TACAM. Box that sucker, you can do your bearing and range. Okay? So if I did 210 bearing, I'm going to be heading out that way. Actually, it's gonna, yeah, it should be out that way. In a range of 5 nautical miles. Bang. Pops up right there. Make sense?
Which button did you get to?
So T on this right side over here. Box TACAM first. Make sure it's on. Make sure it's at a valid TACAM. T-O-S. See that guy down here in this corner?
Okay.
Kind of circle. That button. Let me turn on my flashlight. That'll help you see the button too. Right there. Then once you have that selected, you can now choose whether you want to fly to the TACAM or to the offset, giving the range and the bearing of it. And you just put it in. Range is like just our normal range. 180 is south. Or sorry, your bearing is normal bearings, like 180 south. 0 is north. Range is in nautical miles. You can have it out there pretty far. It's 25 miles, etc., etc. Make sense?
Yep.
Pretty simple. To fly to it, make sure that you just have it boxed down here versus boxing TACAM. Right now I'm flying towards TACAM. Now I'm flying towards TACAM offset. It's back down to 5. Alright, waypoint offset. Slightly different, okay? You're going to have waypoint box. Okay? You can go to your data. Okay? And it's hard to see with this light on, so let me turn off the light and I'll bring it back in the day. See how I've got waypoint 1 showing right here?
Yep.
And also says waypoint 1. If I come up here to waypoint and press it, I can now do a waypoint offset from waypoint 1. Okay? Say I want the bearing of 50 with a range of 5 nautical miles. Bam! There it is. It just popped up. You see it right there? That
Okay,
little,
that's kind of neat.
little half circle. Normal waypoint, waypoint offset. And then, go back out of data. Put this back into night so we can see it. I now have WOS while I have waypoint boxed. So I can either fly to the waypoint, or I can fly to the waypoint offset. And that'll give me my steering indications in the HUD. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's the big thing you need to know for next week, okay? Because when we're working with the JTAC, he's going to give you a waypoint offset to sit at, where you're going to orbit until you're cleared to hot to the range. So you just got to know how to set those up. Any questions on how to set that up?
It seems pretty easy so far.
Perfect. So I like to hear. You also notice that in the HUD, you have waypoint offset for waypoint 1. When it's boxed, like unbox it and do waypoint, go back to waypoint. So you always know where you're going. Same for TACAM offset. Pretty simple stuff, right? Alright, perfect. Now let's talk about the fun stuff. Go ahead and go into your rearm refuel. You're going to throw on, how many is it? 10. Yes, 10? Yep, 10 JDAMs. Okay, there the GBU-38. Make sure to also please grab a targeting pod. Get those suckers popping on. Yeah. So we're gonna do 3 different ways of using these GPS guided munitions. There's pre-planned on the ground, pre-planned in air, and then target of opportunities. Okay. We're gonna start with pre-planned on the ground. So opening up your F10 map, we have this very special function called the automatic target handoff system. Which means if I zoom in on something, say I want to kill this BTR-80, I can come up here to my marked label, put one in it, name it, hashtag, capital TP01, okay, that exact format. I can now import those coordinates of where I put that down, slightly off to the side apparently. Can I move her? Sometimes I'll let you move. Nope, she won't let me move it. And have those automatically input into my aircraft. Okay? Then stored on board.
Do you have to be on the ground to do that?
Yes and no. So on the ground, you can, if you're on the ground and you do this, go ahead and grab one. We'll walk you through it. Go ahead and take this BTR-80 right here, and I'll take this top one.
All right, I'm minimized, so give me a sec.
No, take your time. Make sure it's capital TP. It's the biggest
Oh,
thing.
it needs
Otherwise,
to be capped too, huh?
Yep, it does need to be capped. Yep, and then you can just minimize it. Perfect. Just make sure. Perfect. Looks good to me. All right, we're gonna go back to our cockpits real quick. You're gonna pull up your knee board. Shift K. Then you're also on your right MFD. Okay. I want you to pull up the CAS page. CAS at the bottom. Perfect. Then you're gonna hit recall, RCAL, a little to the left. And you should get a list that has nothing in it. Right?
Okay.
Perfect. On your knee board now, okay? You're gonna move over to the second page where it says target list. Okay. So what this is doing, this is a lot like the data cartridges that most planes have, but not quite implemented in DCS yet. I can't wait for it to come. You can reload these points, so that's what we're doing. So if you see right there, it says press right shift, right alt, and 8 to load our targets into the plane. Okay? Go ahead and hit that.
My keyboard doesn't have those buttons.
Oh, are you on a small % keyboard?
Yeah.
Reduce?
It's a little mini keyboard.
Hey, as long as you got it set to something, whatever works for you, go ahead and press that key press now. And you'll notice that it pops up down here. Boom. Okay, loaded into your targets list. Now if you look up there, it's now loaded into your CAS page too on the MFD. See how it's now loaded in? You can check the record number on there plus the record number on your target list. Make sense?
Yeah.
Perfect. You'll also see that after the time there's a T1. That means that is target number 1. Okay? So on the ground, when you do this, it will automatically assign them as target numbers. When we get in the air here in a minute to do our in-air pre-brief, it doesn't assign them as target numbers, so you have to manually assign them, but we'll go over that in a second. Okay? But there you go. There's your first one. Done. So, let's get up in the air real quick. Get us in a nice orbit, and then we'll start talking about the next part. Doing one from in-air.
Ready.
Alright, perfect. One other thing you can do, because we're going to target 1, do you have your next waypoint button found?
Yes.
Okay, if you press and hold that, on your OUDs, you're going to have waypoint, mark point, target point, non-sequence, and time on target pop up on those left buttons. Select target. Go ahead and just enter 1. That will just give us direction and steering towards it.
Waypoint
once you're ready,
T1.
Yep. That's waypoint target 1 is now what we have locked up. Alright, we're good to take off now. Go ahead and roll it on out. I'll follow you.
Caution, caution.
I got us chalked. They don't have us chalked. nice. You didn't hit the water. That's all that matters.
Caution, caution.
Alright, once you get yourself up, I want you to establish yourself at 15,000 feet, flying inbound, self-knife hold. Then we'll do our in-air prep. In my right hand turn. About to yank the cords out of my computer.
It's really dark.
I know. Don't you love it? I believe Alt N or Control N is your night vision. Mine's Alt N, but I have moved mine around. There you are. Are your flashing lights? Shot my turn. If you want, you can display your flare on your HUD by pressing sensor select switch D press. It's a little hard to see if you don't really have anything out in front of you. So you'll notice that the tint of the HUD does change. That'll just help give you a little more situal awareness. I'm going to establish myself at 13,000, a little bit lower than what I said, but that'll work. Let me know once you're in a nice altitude hold. We can talk about air to air. Not air to air, but air prep.
I can't get the little screen HUD thingy to work.
Make sure, big thing, the switch where it says day, auto, and night down below, like your UFC, is on night. And then you'll just press it once. Make sure your T-pod doesn't pop up. If it does, close the T-pod. Then try it again. Are we already almost featuring?
Okay, it's working. I've got my like little laser seeker thing flying around. How do I make that stop?
You can do sensor select, switch back. And it should stop moving around. Alright. You ready for this next part about how you do it in air?
Caution.
Okay.
Alright. So now that you're established, okay, and you can take you're trimmed out, so you can take your hand off your stick and it's not going to fly anywhere. Go ahead and go back to your map. And then go ahead and pick another target. Anything out there. And do the exact same naming convention for me. Okay, you know, do the mark point, put it on top of something, hashtag TP02, because it's your second one now, okay? Make sure to have the caps on it. Let me know once you've done that.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Now you're going to pull up your CAS page again, okay?
Yep.
And you can go to recall. That way it has that list.
Yep.
All right, then that button press we did before, mine's right shift, right alt 8, whatever you put yours to, go ahead and hit that. Now your second one's going to appear.
It worked.
Okay, now notice how it does not say T2 next to it. It's blank, right?
Okay, yeah.
That means the computer doesn't know that we want to use that. So now you're going to see how there's a little asterisk next to the 1 right now on the left-hand side?
Yeah.
Using the arrow keys, move that asterisk down to the 2.
Okay.
Then hit the CAS button. Okay? We're now inside the data page, everything that pops up here, of that target that we have recently made. Okay?
What is the
You are now-
CAS button? Like
The
the button on the
CAS.
bottom?
Yep, the CAS. See how we're in there now?
Yeah.
Got some information. Alright, now you'll notice that there is a use button. You see that?
Yep. Hit it?
Okay, you're gonna hit use. On your scratch pad, a 0 is gonna pop up, okay? We know that this is target number 2, so we're gonna enter 2 into that scratch pad, then enter, okay?
Okay.
Let me know once you've done that.
Yep.
Okay, now on your MFD on the left one, your map is gonna be all red. Deselect data, so that way it goes back to green, so we're not editing anything.
Okay.
Perfect. Now if you click recall on the CAS page, you'll notice that it now has T2 next to it, right?
Right.
Perfect. Alright, we're getting kind of close to our target point, so go ahead and fly reverse radial from the target, so that way we're getting away from it while we talk about the next step.
I'm in an orbit, so I'm good.
Oh, perfect. That works for me too. Alright, we now have 2 target points set up. One via pre-brief on the ground, one via pre-brief in the air. Now we're going to put a warhead on a forehead here, okay? So, first thing you can do, go to air-to-ground mode. Pull up your stores page. Okay? And select your appropriate weapon, which is going to be... It's going to say it's going to say J82. It's weird that says J. Anyway, I think it's weird. You'll notice that some symbology has changed in your HUD now, okay? We'll go over that in a second. But the first thing we gotta do is we gotta set up the fusing, okay? So in the ODUs up there, do you see the fuse one?
Yep.
FUZ. Okay, press that. Then you have your options. You have safe, D1, and instant. You'll select the appropriate one for the time, which will be instant in our case here. Okay? So that way you get the 2 little dots next to it. Have you done that?
Yes.
Perfect. Then select fuse again up at the top to leave that menu. Okay?
Okay.
Perfect. Now we're going to select the targets that we want to hit. Okay? You see how the top one says TGTS targets?
Yep, I've pressed it.
Perfect. We select targets 1 and 2, so go ahead and box those 2. Okay?
It's like I
And then
knew
hit
you were going to tell me to do that.
Exactly. Then hit targets again. You'll see 5 through 8. Targets again, you'll get 9 and X, then exit. Select exit. Alright. You've made it back to this point now, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Alright. So, what we're going to do is we're going to flip off our safety now. And we're going to start looking at this HUD symbology. You'll notice on your HUD symbology now, you should have a circle with a triangle at the top, triangle probably somewhere near the bottom, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. That is our likelihood to hit, whether we're in range, basically, or not, okay? Underneath that, you're going to see an N, the capital N, and then a little 1 and a little 2. Do you see those?
Yep.
Perfect. That N means that we are using nominal deployment, okay? Which basically means we are not using terminal guidance. As in, like, hey, I want to hit it from this angle, I want to hit it at this speed, kind of thing, okay? You can swap between nominal and terminal, which will be T, by pressing the cage uncage button, okay? For this first pass, though, we're only going to do it in nominal, or normal.
Okay.
Okay, so next thing you're going to see on your HUD, too, there's going to be a little steering dot, okay? Doesn't show on mine because I'm kind of facing the opposite way, but turn into your target, okay?
It is moving towards the center.
Yep, you want to put that sucker in the center, and then it's going to start to unwind, eventually, the ring on the outside to let you know when you're in range, okay? As you reach more in range, okay, you're going to notice that the 1 and the 2 become big as the N. That means that you're in range to drop on them, okay? But you do not want to drop immediately, okay? Because once they are in range, there's going to be a number that starts counting up from the bottom, from 0, underneath the N, 1, and 2. As that number gets higher, that's your likelihood percentage chance of hitting what you have put in. It'll go from 0 to 100, okay? You'll want to press and hold the pickle button when you reach about 80. Does that make sense?
It counts up.
Yep, counts up. Starts at 0, counts up all the way up to 100, then it starts counting back down.
Okay, that's a
So
little different. But...
Yep, so once it reaches 80, it's your percent chance to hit. Kind of weird how we do it.
Okay.
So go ahead and fly on in, and once you hit that 80, press and hold, pickle release, and then both bombs should come off and find their targets. You'll notice as you get closer, you'll see it start to unwind and stuff. As you can see on my screen now, I'm starting to unwind. It's actually the inner circle that unwinds. And those numbers won't start getting big until you cross the first triangle. And then that's when that countdown starts. Or that count up in percentage. Yeah, I know. You're upset about that. Second now. And now I'm in range, so number 1 and number 2 have become big. You can also see on the right hand side it has your weapon selection. It says in range, so we know we are within range. And we'll continue till that number on the bottom reaches about 80. Then we'll press and hold.
Now, do I pickle for each one, or do they both drop?
They both drop. Just press and hold. And then they will come off. And just don't let go of that pickle button until you get the dashed lines. Okay? So just keep holding it. You notice the dash lines that pop up?
Still a few miles away, but I'm almost there.
Oh yeah, you're a little bit behind me. Mine have come off already. There you go. But yep, you'll just press and hold the entire time. They will fall off when it is appropriate for them, which is quite nice. So the nice thing that we'll do, because we'll end up doing 2 flights tonight with this. This is the first one, obviously. On the second flight, all you're going to do is you're going to load 10 targets from the ground, fly on out, and hit 10 things all in one pass. Boom. There's my 2 kills right there. Orbit.
All right, I have a circle in the middle now. Circle in the middle of the circle.
Mm-hmm. Numbers are still small.
Yeah, numbers are still small.
All right. Double check while you're here. Master arm off. Air to ground mode selected.
Master arm is on.
Or on. You're in kill mode. Let's go with that.
Go boom boom button.
Boom boom mode.
I did make that mistake last weekend in a dogfight.
Oh, that hurts. I like having I have a physical button for it. My throttle. But sometimes it doesn't match what's in my it's in my cockpit. Makes it awkward every once in a while.
All right, numbers are counting up. Both numbers 1 and 2 are big.
Perfect. Just continue then. And just wait to get that bottom number gets to about 80. Press and hold the entire time.
80, and I'm holding.
Yep.
Pickle
You'll
1 and 2.
Perfect. And then you see how you get the dash lines, meaning that all your targets you selected, you have released a weapon for, is what it means. Alright, go ahead and put yourself in a nice little orbit. Let's see if you hit.
Now, are these the bombs that are both GPS and laser?
Yes, we do have a variant where we can do both. For some reason, even though I'm pretty sure I only took the non-variable laser ones, it shows that I killed it with variable lasers. Yeah, I did take the laser partial ones. I don't think I did, but I don't know. But yes, these ones can have laser or GPS.
What's the hotkey to designate it to it? To slave it to the...
So on the map, on the EHSD, bottom left, there's a designate button.
Okay. Designate is boxed.
Yep. And then you've got your T-pod. Swap your T-pod polarity. You might be in CCD right now. Change it to flare. That might be why you're not seeing anything.
How do I do that?
Top left button on the T-pod. So if I've got my T-pod up on my screen.
Oh, okay. Now I see an image.
There we go. That's probably why it was trying to use the TV versus the flare.
But it looks like snowplow mode.
Double press sensor select switch. Then the top part will say T-pod 1111. That makes sense.
Oh, okay. So I undesignated and then designated again and it worked. Whatever.
Perfect. Alright. Alright, you got something found? Go ahead and find something on that range for me. Let me know once you have. I'm flying through a cloud. at night. It's kind of spooky.
I forgot how to designate it.
TDC D press. You'll know you've designated correctly when it says T-pod des twice in the bottom right.
Yep.
Perfect. All right. So now you've got your target designated. Okay. On the UFC, do you see the TOO button? It's right above
Yep.
volume.
Yep.
Go and press that. It's going to input a number into that scratch pad. Mine is 3. Yours should also be 3 at this point.
Yes, it is.
All right, then go ahead and just hit enter. All right,
Okay.
we have now created target point 3 for us. Okay. Now, do you remember how we select our target points? How we did earlier underneath the target page?
Let's see.
Pull it up easy. You can hit the WPN button, then it'll pull it up on the left. Trigger cold right now.
Okay, so waypoint T3.
Yep.
Then what?
Then you're gonna hit the WPN button on your UFC. Okay. That's gonna give us the targets, term, and fuse options. This is just a faster way to get to it versus going
Okay.
in through stores again. Okay.
Okay.
Then you're gonna select targets, select target 3,
Got it.
exit, and then it's the same as we just dropped. You should see N, then a little 3, or possibly even a big 3, depending on how close you currently are. But then all your symbology is back, correct?
Yep.
Perfect. Fly it on out and drop it on it. Interesting to see if this one hits. I am slightly off on my target. Pickle. One away.
Pickle.
Cut out. Oops. Boom, shack. And looks like you're shacked up too. Very nice. So that's TOO, target of opportunity. Which just means find it with your T-pod, designate it, transfer coordinates, drop bomb. Any questions on TOO?
No, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, ain't it?
Yeah.
Alright, find me a couple more, drop me a couple more in TOO, and then we'll do our last flight of the night real quick. And we'll drop 10 in one go. You can also, if you want, okay, you don't have to do TOO one at a time. You can designate multiple stuff in a pass, and then come back on the next pass and hit everything. For example, I just did number 4, zooming in. I now have target number 5 also set for me. So now I can fly out, select targets number 4, targets number 5, exit, make my turn in, and I'll drop on both targets this time. Big thing to remember too, as you're doing this, as you get targets that are farther spread out, it'll take longer for that number to increase, and make sure everything's in range. Do a waste.
Is there a way for me to know how many target of opportunities I have made?
Not specifically target of opportunities. You can know how many targets you've made. If you want. So I believe if we go to CAS, recall. So you can do the math. If you want, look at your current target points. Like I'm 5, and I know I have 2 targets on my CAS page. That means I've made 3 target of opportunities. So that's one way you can do it, but I don't think there's a specific way to say, yo, this is a TOO versus pre-plant, because they all become just target points. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, let me see if I can explain it better. So do you want to know how many target points you have out there, or how many times you've hit the TOO button?
Like, if I was like, I can't remember if I just made 3 new targets or 4. Do I, like, so I put 4, 5, 6, and I was like, I don't know if there's a 7, or I don't know if there's a 4, whatever makes more sense in real life.
Gotcha. What you can do, if you want, just to see, you can actually fly by again, and using your T-pod, you can slew it to each one of those that you made, I guess. See what you haven't blown up. There's that option. But there really isn't a way to say, hey, I had this many to start, I guess. Let's see if I can turn in and find something. Let me experiment with this.
Well, if I try to do a 7th target, it just doesn't let me. So I mean, there's one.
Yeah, yeah, of knowing your upper limit. I don't know about your lower limit. That's what I'm trying to find out. So that way you don't rebomb something you've already hit.
Right.
The best bet is probably just look at it through the T-pod again and slew it on over. You will have, like, you know, say you don't know if you did start on target 4 or target 3.
3 pickles. The snow.
Nice. You can slew to target 3 or whatever, and then step through them. Save one, your 10th one, and then we'll go over terminal parameters real quick before we do our last bit.
Looks like I got 2 of those 3. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Might have been. Sometimes the T-pod can be slightly off, and you'll put it just in front of it.
But that's still pretty cool. All right, what was the next thing we were doing?
Okay, terminal parameters. So go ahead and find another one you want in TOO mode. While I get these off my means. 6 and 7. So and go ahead, make it so it's, you know, all set up pretty much.
Okay, so I've got a target of opportunity. And then what?
Okay, now you can set up your terminal parameters that you want for it. So hitting that weapon button, notice how the middle one is term. Go ahead and hit that and you'll get some options there. You'll get heading, angle, and I believe the last one is...
Inv and inv.
Which stands for initial velocity. So how fast it's hitting that target. Okay?
Okay.
You're now able to, let me actually designate my 8th one real quick. You're now able to set these terminal things that you want. So let's say a heading. Say there's a building or something. So you can only fly in on a heading of 180. You can enter that in to your target parameters. Make sure you have 8, or your wherever you're dropping on selected.
My button's turned off.
Hit weapon again.
Okay, so hit heading.
Yep, and go ahead and enter in a course heading of 180 or just whatever you want it to be. Okay.
Sure.
Anything you can put in the angle. The angle's actually the funner one. Let's do angle.
Okay.
A and G. Set it to 45. Most of the time they hit at 60, I want to say. But now, when that thing hits, it's going to be 45 degrees parallel. Use it for whatever the mission needs be. But now, here comes the big thing, okay? Because we set parameters on these, our release window is going to be a lot smaller, okay? So go ahead, fly on up, start flying on in, and hit the cage on cage button, so you have the T, your terminal parameters.
Yep, got that.
Okay, and now you're just going to fly it on in, just like how you normally would, okay? You're just going to notice that you are a whole lot closer to the target, and you're going to have a lot less time to drop. Now, if we were higher and faster, you get a better range of what you can do with these things.
I don't need to like approach from 180 or anything?
You would want to approach from 180. It does have a limit. I don't know why it doesn't show it in the HUD, because on all other aircraft it does. There's a specific limit of what you had to be. Is most times plus 30, minus 30 degrees off. You can approach from and it will still hit to the best of its abilities. You'll also notice, and it's really hard to see because it's really, really small. If you take your map and you scale it down to like the 5 mile, when you're running in, there'll be an area. We'll see like an eye bracket that shows where you need to be in order to drop the bomb according to your parameters. It's really hard to see. You can actually see it better in the nominal. Big and red. Oh, it's supposed to be big and red on there, but I don't see mine for some reason. And we'll go back to terminal. But it's just to help get you in line with it. Oh, I did hit my second one. It just took forever to blow up.
Now wait, if I put 180, do I want to be heading 180 or coming
Yes,
from 180?
You want to be going 180, heading towards 180.
Oh, well, this will be abrupt for my little shot then.
That's okay. If you're high enough, it will flip around and come back. It has enough energy that it can do basically like a J-hook on it. So I'm starting to unwind now. Got my terminals.
Pickle.
Very nice.
I see my T-pod is just off to the right a little bit. It's probably why I'm missing so many shots, but...
Yeah. It can be a little hard when designating.
I just need to zoom more when I designate, apparently.
That'll help. Aiming for the base, too, helps a lot more than aiming for the thing, I've learned. I don't know if that's a real-life thing, or if that is a DCS thing, Pickle.
I got him,
But
I think. Unless that was your bomb.
I just barely sent mine off, so... You probably hit him, he's probably burning right now, would be my guess.
He's burning.
Nice. Alright. Any questions on TOO and now terminal parameters?
Nope.
Perfect. Alright. Eject out of that thing.
Using
We're gonna go
cache
back
tag
to the
position.
ship. We're gonna rearm. You're gonna do your last little thing that you need to do, which is... I want you to mark 9 of them, okay? You're gonna mark 9 on the map that you want to hit. You're gonna load them in. You're gonna get up in the air. You'll mark a 10th target. Do an air-to-air or an air pre-brief on it. Hey, nice, you got your kill. I see you there. And then that's it for the evening.
Caution, caution.
All right, I think that is 9.
Perfect. Go ahead and load them into the keyboard, or the kneeboard, not the keyboard. Make sure that they populate on your CAS page, then go ahead and take on off. Then you'll do your last one as an in-air. The only difference is you'll do TP, or hashtag TP0X. X for 10. We go Roman numerals at that point.
All right, they have populated. Is there a magic number with 9, or is that just what you pulled out of your head?
Well, I just wanted to make sure you could still do the air-to-air one, because a lot of people forget how to do the air one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, so I literally just pulled it out of my ass.
But I could do like 18 of these?
You can only do up to... You can make more target points, but you wouldn't be able to assign them to your JDAMs.
How many
like,
JDAMs can I carry? 10? Is
You
that
can
like
carry 10.
the
Yep.
max? Okay.
That's the max, because that's as much as the smart racks can hold. But say you had, like, you know, a bunch of different spots you were going to go hit with rockets. You know, we can carry, like, 64 rockets. You could make all those points all the way up to T whatever you want. 18, you could blow past 18 if I remember correctly, too. And then fly to them, you know, hit them with the rocket or whatever. Fly to those points, however it wants to be used.
I ain't doing nothing tomorrow. Just mark up all the targets.
There you go.
Okay.
Once the ship stops drifting, you can go ahead and take off.
Caution, caution.
You can also, let me correct this too, if you're making more mark points after 10, and 10 itself doesn't have to be X, We just use X because that is what it is on the OUDs for us. You can just put in 10, 11, 12 if you ever do want to make more target points. Choose start.
Caution, caution.
Okay, so I made the point. I did the key press, and it loaded in without the number.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going down to it, and I hit CAS,
Yep, that is correct.
and then I hit... forget what I hit here.
Use should be on the bottom.
Use. And it says 0. I hit 10.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Then enter.
Enter, recall, and it looks correct.
Perfect. Go over to your
TX.
double check your map. It might be in red mode, edit mode, so just hit data to get out of that so we don't
Alright.
change anything. Perfect. Then go ahead and set up your weapons. Don't forget fusing. And then you'll select every single one of them. 10 obviously being next.
Alright.
Fly it on in, drop it on them.
Caution, caution.
So I see a little red line on the map.
Ah, that is your range indicator.
Okay.
Once you... Do you see how it's got the brackets on the side of it too? It kind of looks
Yeah.
like an eye. Once you cross that, that means that's your absolute maximum range where you could launch. So, as you get closer, you know, you can help line up with that. And that also applies when we were talking terminal. That will actually move to help give you your heading if you did a terminal deal. And it's also a lot smaller.
All right,
You
any
see-
second now.
Alright, get that count up going. Because you have so many, you'll probably want to start pressing and holding around 70. Just because there's a lot on you. Have you seen the new Blue Angels film thing that came out today?
It came out earlier for my area.
And we didn't get it in our theaters over here, so we gotta watch it on Prime.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw it in IMAX.
Lucky.
Okay, the timer's going down. So hold that thought. Pressing the button. Pick a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I lost count. Lots of pickles.
Oh, in the end, it's 10.
All right, that's it.
Alright, return to ship. TACAN is 1, and let's see you land it. We'll see how many of these bad boys hit. Oh, they look so nice on the F10 map, watching them spread out.
I'll have to watch it on the TAC view.
You'll like it. It's fun to watch when all these suckers hit. But you gotta see it in IMAX. How was it in IMAX?
It's really good.
Can't believe they didn't bring it to my theaters out here. Bugs me. Boom, boom, boom. 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 I don't know why these ones didn't go. Boom. Looks like you're right on. They gotta be like burning right now. It's barely off. Well, there you go. You got at least 7 of them, with the other ones possibly burning out right now. Not too shabby though. Once you get fast at it, you can do it in like get up, get down, take out 10 targets in like 10 minutes. It's really nice on like 4YA and GTI. All those just to absolutely demolish with these.
Caution. Landing gear, landing gear. Landing gear.
This is weird.
It is a bit different at night.
I think he's not moving too, which
Let me double check. We're moving. We are going about 30 knots.
he's gone. Okay, it just has
Yep, we're
no
going.
wake. Oh, I see the wake. Never mind.
A very small wake.
altitude, altitude. Water, water. Water, water. Water, water. Water, water. Water, water. Water, water.
And she's down. Very nice.
Not my
Water.
smoothest ending, but
Hey,
Water,
we take what we
water.
can get, right?
kind of
Water,
ran out
water.
of water at the end there.
Water,
All good.
water.
All right. Any questions before we call it a night? But that's everything we need to cover.
Nope, I'm good. It's pretty cool.
Perfect. That'll be good. Saturday's lesson will be in the
Caution,
form
caution.
of a mission with a small pre-brief beforehand. But majority of the time, we will be deafened in Discord. We will be using in-game radio, and it's going to be fun.
Caution, caution.
Just make sure your SRS works.
Generator.
Anything else? Any other
generator.
questions or anything you need, man?
Caution.
Nope, I'm
caution.
good, thank you.
All right. You have a good night. Catch you later.
Generator.
See ya.
Generator.